as one of the most beloved cartoons of all time. But have you ever noticed that, even in a show with such incredible attention to detail, a few little mistakes still manage to slip through? That's what happens in the episode Dirt, where Bluey and Bingo are playing in the new soil that Bandit bought for the garden. Their neighbor and friend Judo is dying to join in, but she's not allowed to get dirty. Her mom, Wendy, spends hours keeping her daughter's fur looking perfect, and she's super detail-oriented. So the girls try to come up with a way for Judo to play without getting messy, but it doesn't really go as planned. Judo ends up sad and sits on the steps outside her house. Wendy notices and comes over to comfort her daughter. If you're paying close attention at that moment, you'll catch that Wendy's tail goes right through the stair railing, kind of like an X-Men character walking through walls. Who would have thought something like that would only be spotted years later, right? Or did you catch it the first time you watched the episode? We sure didn't. We've picked out 13 animation goofs from Bluey that you probably never noticed. Get ready for some laughs. Come along with us as we uncover some of the hidden secrets in the amazing world of Bluey. If there's one thing Bluey knows how to do, besides tug at our heartstrings, it's making us laugh with the Healer family's wild imagination. In the episode Magic Asparagus, the Healers are sitting down for dinner, and Bandit insists that everyone use their best manners. Even Chili gets called out for having her elbow on the table. To teach Bandit a lesson, Chili tells Bluey about a magic asparagus that can turn people into animals. Their oldest daughter doesn't waste any time. She grabs it and starts transforming everyone. In one of the scenes, she turns Bandit into a peacock. Always a good sport, he plays along with the joke. But if you look closely, a strange black spot appears on his belly, probably from his back. Maybe Bandit turned into such a majestic peacock that even the animation got confused. We already know Bandit has gone through a few design updates in the show, which is probably why he's so often the target of animation glitches. But very few people noticed that in the episode Fairies, Bandit suffers from a pretty serious case of hair loss. The family is playing pretend, and Bandit annoys the fairies, so much so that Bingo ends up frozen with her finger stuck up her nose. Bluey blames her dad for what happened to Bingo, saying it was all because he teased the magical beings. To fix it, Bandit has to do an Irish dance outside the house. At first, he hesitates because the whole neighborhood is outside, but once he sees his daughter isn't unfreezing anytime soon, he gives in and starts dancing, with roller skates in hand. After unfreezing Bingo and spinning her through the air, you can clearly see that Bandit loses a ton of fur as he spins around the mailbox. Looks like Bandit's not only a master of wacky games, but also of shedding fur wherever he goes. Could the fairies be behind this sudden fur fallout? Or maybe it's time for Bandit to invest in a good hair tonic. And that's not even the only strange mistake in this episode. At one point, something totally wild happens. Bandit's nose just vanishes, like it was never there. Yep, it just disappears out of nowhere. The weirdest part? Just seconds earlier, he was right next to Bingo, and everything looked totally normal. But then, suddenly, Chili's husband is missing his nose, and in the very next shot, it's back again like nothing ever happened. Was it a fairy spell? A little editing mishap? Or has Bandit secretly learned how to camouflage? Either way, this is one of those little slip-ups only the sharpest fans are likely to catch. Before we move on to the next batch of Bluey animation goofs, drop a comment below that says, "Nose!" In the episode Bob Bilby, Bingo needs to take photos of adventures with her friend Bob, a puppet, to complete an album and show it to her classmates. Other kids from school have already done this activity, and Bob has gone on all sorts of exciting adventures with them. Sounds simple enough, right? But as always, the Healer family finds a special and slightly chaotic way to turn even the most basic task into something memorable. And in the middle of all the cute moments and fun snapshots, a small animation error ends up catching the eye of eagle-eyed fans. Later on, inside the family car, Chili, who's in charge of taking the pictures, snaps a photo. So far, so good. But if you look closely, you'll notice that the flash goes off, showing that the rear camera was used, even though it's clearly not pointing at Bingo and Bob. Does Chili have a magic camera, or do the Healers just have different tech than we do? The flash goes off, but the lens is definitely not aimed at Bingo and Bob. In that same episode, Chili and Bingo go out on a bike ride with Bob the puppet. Everything seems normal and fun until something weird catches our attention. Chili's dark orange spot just vanishes. How is that even possible? Was it a lighting glitch? Some magical side effect from Bob himself? Or just another sneaky animation slip-up? Whatever the case, for a few moments, Chili appears without her signature mark, leaving observant fans scratching their heads. Luckily, her spot reappears later like nothing happened, but now we know. Even the healers can have a few design blackout moments. The Healer family is known for their playful games and hilarious adventures, but there's something else they love doing together: dancing. Well, except when it involves the fairies. Right, Bandit? In the episode Dance Mode, Bluey suggests a game where a remote control can make anyone dance at any time. Whenever the remote is activated, the person selected has to start dancing, no matter where they are. And you can probably guess what kind of chaos that caused, right? Tons of laughs. That day, the family went to the post office, and while Bandit was being helped at the counter, Chili hit the remote. With no way out, Bluey's dad had to start dancing right there on the spot. In that scene, another character is waiting in line. But when he sees Bandit dancing, he makes a strange movement, and his letter floats up into the air. Is this guy secretly magical? Between surprise dance moves and hilarious situations, this episode gives us another little detail to laugh at. A mysterious character who suddenly seems to have magical powers. Does he have hidden abilities, or is he just the victim of a funny little animation mistake? In the episode Burger Shop, we see Bandit on a nearly impossible mission, trying to convince his daughters, who are playing in the bathtub, to get out. But of course, they end up convincing him to do the opposite: jump in the tub. At that moment, Chili shows up and threatens to take away all the toys. And then something weird happens. Bandit suddenly loses half of his hair. Is he going through some kind of health issue? Or is this just another one of those fun animation blunders that only the most observant fans ever catch? And now's the perfect time to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That way, you won't miss any more animation goofs in Bluey. Bluey has amazing animation, and the creators are known for their incredible attention to detail. But hey, mistakes happen. No one's perfect, and this show is no exception. In the episode, Cricket, Bandit, Pat, and Stripe are trying their best to beat Rusty in a friendly game of cricket. But then comes the best part of any gathering: snack time. That's when something odd happens. Chloe's mom sits down in a super weird way, at least for the style of animation we're used to in Bluey. Did she invent a new yoga stretch? Or was this just a little animation prank? Another funny goof pops up in the episode Kissy, where Bluey and Bingo go on a top-secret mission to stop their parents from showing affection. The sisters take on the role of bodyguards, trying to keep Bandit away from Chili's kisses at all costs. Chili, of course, joins the fun and hides, planning a sneak attack smooch to outsmart her little guards. There's lots of running around and silly strategies, but in the middle of all that chaos, something strange happens that only super observant fans would catch. In one of the scenes, Bandit, Bluey, and Bingo walk into the laundry room and everything looks normal. But when Bandit steps out of the bathroom just moments later, the faucet in the laundry has completely changed position. Does the Healer house have enchanted furniture that moves on its own? Or is this faucet part of their magical collection, like Bandit's ever-changing hair? Whatever the case, it's another funny little continuity error that's easy to miss, but makes the show even more fun for detail hunters. Who knows what else might be shifting around in there? The Healer family's home has some pretty beautiful landscaping, thanks to Chili's care. In the episode Tradies, she hires professional workers to build a small pond in front of the house. When they start digging, we see a tree and another house behind the Healer's fence with some clear distance between them. But later in that same episode, something looks off. Suddenly, the tree and the house are way closer together than before. Are we seeing a glimpse of a parallel universe? Or is this just another quirky continuity slip? In the episode Zoo, Bluey turns the backyard into a wild animal park, complete with exotic creatures. Bandit gets into character, playing a big blue gorilla. At the end of the episode, we see Bingo lying in bed, a little sad after being separated from the gorilla. And right then, a curious detail stands out. There's a lowercase b carved into her bed, but in the very next moment, when Chili comes into the room to comfort her, that B magically becomes an uppercase B. Was that a bit of gorilla magic? Or just another fun little animation glitch? The Healer home is filled with family photos, memories from trips, special moments, or just scenes of everyday life. In the episode Hotel, something interesting happens. Bluey and Bingo flip over a laundry basket to pretend it's the hotel front desk. Behind them, we see a picture with a ball on the wall, one that appears in multiple episodes. But when Bandit walks up the stairs, a totally different photo pops up. It looks like a picture of Bluey. What's going on here? Was that a simple continuity error? Or a sneaky little Easter egg left by the animators? These animation goofs don't take away from how awesome Bluey is. They just give us one more reason to go back and rewatch all the episodes. If you love Bluey's world as much as we do, we've got 2 more amazing videos you'll want to check out. Thanks for hanging out with us, and see you next time!